Hi guys and welcome back. Today I am working on this little circle watercolor painting. We'll talk more about it in a little bit. Today will be a great chance for you to get a cozy, warm drink and maybe some artwork to work on, and we can work on some painting together while I chit-chat about art stuff. But I do have a very exciting announcement. Today starts the holiday sale over at my shop, which I love to do yearly. I love to be able to offer some artwork around the holiday time at a bit of a discount, but that is 20% off of everything that I have over at my shop. So that's all of my originals, all of my prints, my enamel pins, stickers, anything that you can find over there, my books, my Inktober books. Those are all 20% off. There's a link down in the description that'll take you over there. You do not need a code for that. And I do still have the free shipping deal. So any order within the US that is over $35 gets free shipping. Any order outside of the US, it's free shipping for $75 or more. And yeah, hopefully you'll find something that you like over there. I have been adding lots of little mini paintings, very tiny little paintings over there that I've been working on for like Patreon stickers over the last couple of months. So if you want to get a little tiny original painting, now was a great chance because I just batched a bunch of paintings up on my shop. And again, that link is down in the description. And the sale will last for 1 week. So that's today up to November 25th, 20% off. So this little piece is a circle, as you probably noticed. I love working on circles for portraits. I find that it, I don't know, it makes it a little bit more interesting for me. I like that it just really hyper focuses on the face and the character within it. And it keeps things a little bit more fresh than only working on rectangular dimensions for things like this. I think it also helps me to like focus down on exactly what the subject matter is. And in this case, it's very simple. It's just a character. It's a face. And I wanted to focus on her hair and how I was going to paint that. So yeah, it almost feels like a vignette to me where it cuts out, blurs out anything surrounding the character so that it just focuses in on that central point within the canvas. So it's a good focusing tool I've found, that when I just want it to be a very simple piece working in a circular format like this, it helps a lot. It helps me a lot. I really enjoy that. And I actually do have an upcoming tutorial video that features this piece about adhering watercolor paper to raw panels. So if you're interested in how exactly I got to this point with this piece so that it's a circle and it's watercolor and it's holding its own, that is upcoming. So stay tuned for that if you want to know a little bit more about that process. But I love that process. I love being able to have my watercolor paper adhered to the raw panel, the artist panel that I'm using. That keeps everything really flat and smooth while I'm painting it. And it means that I can do very unique shapes like this circle with my watercolors and they stand on their own. It actually all stays together. It's permanently glued. So like this piece, once I'm done with it, I can just hang it right on my wall, which I love that. I love that it doesn't need a frame at all. It's just ready to go. But anyways, yeah, I can't talk enough about how much I enjoy working on circle panels. There we go. I really enjoy it. It's fun. If you've never tried working on a different shape, I highly recommend it. Even if you don't adhere it to a panel that is shaped differently, you could always mask off an area within a painting and say paint it as if it were a triangle or a circle like this. I think it dislodges us from being so stuck in the same repetitive way of approaching compositions. And like this one, it's not like I did anything novel or new within the circle, but it helps me to see it through fresh eyes, and I enjoy it a little bit differently, which is fun. So one of the things that I wanted to practice with this piece is I wanted to be a little bit more finessed with the control of the values in her hair. I have been wanting to get better at this in general with watercolors. It is a very long pursuit for me as far as being more present and pushing myself to apply more complex techniques to things. So overall, I find that I tend to really just like get in a mindset of wanting to complete a piece. So I'll just like get in the zone. I'll paint the base layer of something, and it'll all be that base value or that base color. And I just didn't even pause to think about adding color variations while it was still wet. So I could do like a wet on wet thing, or variations within the values so that it enhances the way that the light looks interacting with that object, or even just adding just a little bit more texture. There's just so many things that I could be doing that would really enhance my experience of actually painting it, but also the look of it. There's so many options, so many ways to paint, and I find that I tend to just plow through it without much finesse, and that is what I'd like to really narrow in on. I have been trying, and for the most part I think that I'm getting better at that, getting better at actually thinking it through and making those steps. But anyways, in this piece I specifically wanted that to be in her hair. I wish that I had pushed it more with like more variation of the actual color. So I have where there is a strong light source to the left of this character, or our left, I guess, as we're looking at her. But I wish looking back at it, I had made that side of her hair and her skin a little bit warmer. So like her hair could have been a little bit more of like a leaf green on that side and more blue green as it receded away from the light. That would have helped push that a little bit more. But I did accomplish it a bit with the values, which I am very happy with, is that it glows a little bit more on the left side, and then it is darker on the right, and as it gets lower. And I really enjoyed it. It was really nice to be able to focus on that and slow down a bit more. I think that that's also the key to me being able to be more particular about things like this, is that I need to slow down enough so that I have time to even think through it. But yeah, I really liked that. I liked working through it in that way a little bit more. I also eventually go in with some gouache and really sharpen up the rim light that I wanted there to be an appearance of over on the left side. So yeah, overall I'm really happy with the way that the light shines on her hair. It's a little bit more advanced, I guess, than I have painted in the past. So that's a step in the right direction. I've also been really wanting to practice bridging the gap for how I do my line work. I like having the really dark, bold lines, but there's also areas in a painting that needs to be really bright so that it reads as that glowing highlight. So like in this piece, I have that rim lighting on the left side of the character. Obviously, it would really not work if I then added a black line around it. And that is something that I've done many times in the past, and I've never been satisfied with that. So with my gouache for doing lines, that actually makes it a lot easier to figure out, but I'm still kind of working through that as far as like creating a blend or a gradient between the darker areas and then that highlight. I think a big part of that is also just going to come from studying actual photos and finding a way to interpret that into this approach that I want to show, but also being able to use my gouache and create an actual mixed gradient so that I have it flow well from the dark to the light. But there's also areas that it needs to be a sharp definition. It needs to be like a clear delineation between where there would be like a darker shadow that inked line would be, and then the really bright highlight. So yeah, I have a lot to learn as far as how to incorporate those, but I'm much happier with some of the things that I have been doing. It opens areas up to be a little bit more realistic, which I want. I want to be able to have those details that feel like it's breathing life into the painting. And that is definitely one of those that I feel like is a bit of an area that needs work, is marrying line work with bright highlights. And I wasn't happy with the first pass on her eyes. It just felt a little dull and a little uninspired, which is why I love my gouache, because it was so opaque. It allowed me to build up a whole new layer for the iris of this painting. And I do think that that detail really finished off this piece. Having that very saturated bright pink eye made it feel a lot more special, and it sparked the attention of the eye so that it would bring the viewer's eye to her eyes, which I wanted. I want that to be the focal point of this piece. So yeah, I liked being able to rework that. I love being able to rework areas. It doesn't always work. Not everything is compatible, at least with the way that I want to approach it with being repainted in gouache, but areas like that, particularly small details like the eyes, works really well for being able to take a second pass at it. And don't forget, it is the holiday sale time, so if you would like to get some artwork, right now is the perfect time because everything is 20% off. That includes this painting, Cosima. She is available right now, so if you'd like to get a chance to snatch her up while she's 20% off, there's a link down in the description that'll take you over there. And of course, I want to give a huge thank you to all of my patrons. You guys are the reason that I'm able to make art every day, so thank you so much for your support. And that's it for today. So I'll see you guys next time.